Welcome to the first Spider-Man PS4 photo mode tutorial that I've done. I'm just going to quickly go over what I do to get the shots that I do on Spider-Man PS4 photo mode. One of the first things I like to do is I like to try and set the time of day. Generally, it's unless I'm specifically going for some kind of creepy glowing night shot, it's I set it for golden hour. It's the sunset setting, or I will set it midday just so I can get some good full color. Concerning what you're looking for, you want to really keep in mind the position of the direction of your character when you freeze into the photo mode. Like I like to play with the sunlight a lot, so keeping an idea of where the sun is in relation to Spider-Man and which way he's facing is very helpful. Now what I'll do is I like to try and do it kind of dynamically. I'll try and capture him when he's in the middle of one of his animated moves or something that you can really get just like a really cool pose out of. So what I generally do is I will freeze the frame in the middle of an animated move, and then I will back out and then go right back into photo mode so I can get like almost a frame by frame representation of where Spider-Man is throughout that move, and you generally wind up with some really, really cool stuff, kind of like this. Now, once you've got your time of day set and your character positioned, then it's really all about finding the correct position from the camera to tell the story you want to tell. And it really is. It is about a story, because when you're dealing with a photograph, it's a still image, and that still image is going to convey a whole thought, a whole myriad of emotions if you do it right. And I generally will just find the position of the character, and then I'll just orbit around it until I see something that kind of grabs my eye. And also, if I'm not catching anything, one thing I will do is I'll think of the perception from different points on the character itself, like from the point of his finger or the point of his toe or something, just so you can get a really good sense of movement. And once you've found the position that kind of tells the story that you're looking for, then it's really just a matter of filling the frame. You want to fill the frame with subject while attempting, because this is essentially an art form, so the creative aspect is always there, but you want to try to adhere to the rule of thirds. And that's basically you kind of divide your screen into a tic-tac-toe pattern of thirds. And the points intersect, you should put things of subject matter. Like, for instance, you want to put Spider-Man at one of the points. You want to put maybe his web at another, or the city in the background, or whatever it is you're trying to convey. So I generally just play with it until it fills the frame with all the subject matter I'm looking for. And once I've done that, then I like to just kind of, how can I put this, just sweeten it, if you will. Make it exactly perfect before I even start to think about changing the filters and everything like that. I make sure I have the exact frame that I'm looking for, because as soon as you pick a filter and you decide to move the frame a little bit, the filter may not work for you. So if the light's catching it just the right way and you change the filter and you move it, then you've lost that shot. You won't have it back. So the best thing to do is just kind of be sure what you're doing before you change anything, and once you get it where you like it, leave it there. And don't be disappointed or disheartened, if you will, if it takes a little while, because as you can see, you got to play with it a little bit to get all the elements you want in the frame. Like right now, I'm trying to frame it to where you can have the connection of the web on the building and Spider-Man and the street below. So I think I've just about got it here. And you can see, once you get the frame you got that you like, then a little tilt will really accent the action and makes it feel a lot more like a comic book, I think. And again, sometimes a tilt won't work with it, but sometimes it will, and that'll be exactly what the picture needs to make it really pop. Also, the field of view is very useful, I find. Generally, if you haven't been able to nail it exactly as to where you want to fill the frame with, field of view, that's a much more finer tip pen, if you will, for you to really grab all the elements you want and have that in your picture. This is me playing with the focal distance. Every now and then, if you really want to draw focus to your subject, you can blur out the background. It makes it look even kind of a little bit, I dare say, professional looking. But in this particular shot, the focal distance just isn't reacting. So I'm just going to go ahead and set it back to 50 and move on. Okay, so I like to, no matter how much I like it, I always filter through the filter types. I just scan through them all just to see if there's anything there that I maybe didn't expect, or maybe I'm surprised by, or maybe I just want to have an extra shot of this filter over the same shot, so you can have kind of a comparison. That's fun too. This is nice. It's just a little bit dark for me. I'm going to see if I can sweeten it up with the exposure, I think. I'm not sure if I did it on this one or the next one. Yep, it's this one. So what my hope is to bring out enough of Spider-Man to where you can see him and it doesn't blow out the city skyline behind him and look like a nuclear flash. That's pretty cool. But the city line is blown out. Some of these are kind of cool. Some of them, I really haven't found a use for them. I think we're just going to go with, that does look neat, but it's still a little bit blown out in the background. I don't like the detail I'm getting on the streets. So I think I'm just going to end up going with the standard one, because this is a pretty dynamic shot on its own, and I really like the fact that it showcases the red suit. I worked hard for that suit. Okay, well, I think we've got our finished product.